Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Introduction, page number 5. After hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Par Brahma, the Supreme Brahman. Every living being is Brahman, but the Supreme Living Being, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a Supreme Brahman. Param Dhama means that he is a supreme rest or abode of everything. Pavitram means he is pure, untainted by material contamination. Purusham means that he is a supreme enjoyer. Shashvatam, eternal, Divyam, transcendental, Adidevam, the original supreme personality of Godhead, Ajam, the unborn, and Vibhum, the greatest. These are all the qualities of the Lord where Prabhupada is mentioning here. Pavitram, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam, Adidevam, Ajam, unborn, Vibhum, the greatest. Now, one may think that because Krishna was a friend of Arjuna, Arjuna was telling him all this by way of flattery. But Arjuna, just to drive out this kind of doubt from the minds of the readers of Bhagavad Gita, substantiates these praises in the next verse when he says that Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only by himself but by the authorities like Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasadeva. These are great personalities who distribute the Vedic knowledge as it is accepted by all acharyas. This is very prominent. This line is very, very important. Krishna is accepted as Supreme Personality of Godhead not only by himself, himself means Arjuna, but by the authorities like Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasadeva. Dear devotees, everything is driven through authorization. Now, here Srila Prabhupada is talking about that. These are the great personalities who distribute the Vedic knowledge as it is accepted by every acharya, all acharyas. Therefore, Arjuna tells Krishna that he accepts whatever he says to be completely perfect. Sarvametam ritam manya. I accept everything you say to be true. So every sadhaka should come to this state. Arjuna also says that the personality of the Lord is very difficult to understand and that he cannot be known even by the great demigods. This means that Lord cannot even be known by the personalities greater than human beings. So how can a human being understand Lord Krishna without becoming his devotee? This is a question Srila Prabhupada is asking. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita should be taken up in a spirit of devotion. One should not think that he is equal to Krishna, nor should he think that Krishna is ordinary personality or even a very great personality, or Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So, according to the statements of Bhagavad Gita or the statements of Arjuna, the person who is trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita, we should at least the theoretically accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. And with that submissive spirit, we can understand Bhagavad Gita. Unless and until one reads the Bhagavad Gita in a submissive spirit, it is very difficult to understand Bhagavad Gita because it is a great mystery. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranminitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyam Vaishnavebhyam Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Hare Krishna. It's a very, very important detail Srila Prabhupada here so lovingly is giving out of his causeless mercy, his compassion to every jiva in this world. Because that is his aspiration that every jiva should take up the process of Krishna consciousness. So that was the desire which brought him to America. And that was a desire which actually, that is a burning desire of his spiritual master, which actually manifested this transcendental. This is also Divyam. But for that Divyam, there is a source of that Divyam, Adi Divyam. This is the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Adi Devam. This is Divyam, Adi Devam. Divyam is transcendental. The Bhagavad Gita is very transcendental narration. Vibhum. What is Vibhum? The greatest. Who is that greatest? Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He is the greatest. Ajam means he is unborn. The Lord has, if you actually see, the Jiva is also not unborn. Just like Lord has unlimited qualities, in full, Jiva has limited qualities, but he also has qualities. Because he is an Amsha of the Lord. Mamayva Amsu Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. Dear devotees, we are always closely connected to this person. Even if we agree, even if we do not agree. Because in the morning, we were discussing on this, that how the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests in this world. How do they come? And then how do they continue to give the inspiration even though he's not there? He's there, but we don't see him. We don't perceive him. But we can feel him, especially through the association. We can actually feel, but we don't see him. The best way of feeling is through the process of Shavana, where Srila Prabhupada is telling even Devi Devatas cannot perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What to speak of human beings? That means if Devi Devatas, if Brahmaji, Indra, if Brahmaji couldn't perceive the Lord, Indra couldn't perceive the Lord, so many personalities, so many Devi Devatas, they couldn't perceive the Lord. Are Lord Shiva is requesting the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Bhagavatam that please give association of pure devotees, because through that pure devotee association, I'll be able to remember you. Because otherwise, it's difficult to remember. Who is telling this? Lord Shiva. Now we can say out of his humility, but still, even though he's telling out of humility, but can we see the Lord if we keep ourselves in the consciousness of what Lord Shiva is actually explaining? If we actually see that, can we perceive him? No, we cannot perceive him. That is why they say you become humble. And that is also one of the very intricate qualities which Srila Prabhupada says we need to cultivate. What is that quality? Quality of submissiveness. You should be very, very submissive. Especially when we are in the association, especially when we are in the congregation, we should be very, very careful. Even in our heart also we shouldn't see the other person down. Unless and until one is given that position, you shouldn't. Why? Unnecessarily why we should engage in that level of consciousness? No. Even if a person who is authorized, who's been given that service, even he prays to the core of the heart, oh my dear Lord, I'm just doing this as a service. Let me just address this and then again come back to this addressing is also a service. This is not like we have some grudge or enmity towards the person. So even that addressing should be very carefully done. So if we do not have that kind of service, what we should do, we should be very, very happy, try to see good in others, try to see, you know, because what is that doing? That is a protection, that is a shelter for us. For example, if you begin watching the faults which comes out of submissiveness, out of non-submissiveness, that means there is no submissiveness. Here, if you actually see, Duryodhana will actually, it's interesting. In the first chapter, Duryodhana will actually tell this. What he tells? Oh, Dronacharya, what are you doing? What's up? Actually, he is his military teacher. Teacher means he should give respect. But he's not giving respect, rather, he's finding faults in that person. Now, why did you do that? Why did you give training to that person? No, that person whom you trained, he's in the Pandava side. It is because of your mistake. We might lose tomorrow. You shouldn't have trained that person. Just see, when the heart is insecure, you know what happens? We try to find all of these things. Because Duryodhana was in that state. What kind of state is that? It's an insecure state. What is that state? Because he's actually continuously thinking about that. Through that thought process, it's a very clear indication that he will lose. Please understand this. Actually, things should be done very carefully. It should be done slowly. We shouldn't rush. If we rush, we will make mistakes. That doesn't mean that we are completely slow. Complete slowness is also not good. On the same side, complete fast is also not good. We should be balanced. Balanced means we should do with full consciousness and focus. So when we do with consciousness and focus, what happens? You see the results. Because through consciousness and focus, what are we trying to do? We are trying to depend. Here, Brahmaji was actually questioning Krishna at that time. Please understand, through Brahma Vimohan Lila, Brahmaji is actually questioning, oh, who is this person? In the heart of the heart, it has been telling, oh, he might be Supreme Personality. No, no, he's not Supreme Personality. I know Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh, he shook hands to me, but he was not like this, eating the remnants of the Brijavasis. He's taking the remnants from their mouth, and Krishna is eating. The Brahmaji, the moment he saw that, he's bewildered. He couldn't understand. "Arey, what is this?" On one side, he's thinking that he might be Supreme Personality of Godhead because Brahmaji has seen his leelas, his pastimes. Brahmaji knows how he has killed Putana, so many other pastimes. Now, at this moment, the moment he saw this, he is unable to understand, unable to fathom. Arey, what is this? This is a state of bewilderment. Now, how can a child, if though this is a child play, he's eating from everyone's boxes. What is this? He cannot be Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he started questioning. You know what happened here? Oh, this is an arrangement. Please understand. This is Brahmaji is an exalted personality. It's an arrangement. But for us to understand the laws of submissiveness, because Brahmaji was kept in that state. See, dear devotees, we are not trying to put Brahmaji down or something else. What are we trying to do is we are trying to address what if certain qualities are missing, then what's going to happen? Here the submissiveness is missing. That's why Brahmaji couldn't understand what the Supreme Personality wanted. Because he didn't go through an authorization also. Like he didn't check, just like Srila Prabhupada checked. What Srila Prabhupada did? Srila Prabhupada checked with Keshav Maharaj. Oh, should I take sannyas? Oh, my spiritual master is coming in my dreams and telling again and again, Abhay Babu, take sannyas, take sannyas, take sannyas. But I don't know whether should I take sannyas or not. My heart says to take, but I need confirmation. No, Brahmaji did not take that kind of confirmation, but Srila Prabhupada took that confirmation. What is that? I'm trying to show how the submissiveness is very powerful. Just like Arjuna, he submits to Lord. That is submission. That is his way of reciprocation. Duryodhana is not, on the other side, is not submitting because Krishna personally went to his kingdom to tell that, oh, this is not correct. What you are doing, at least give 5 years. He says that I will not even give an inch. That is, what is this? What is this heart? This heart is non-submissive heart. Now a question will come that how come the sadhaka be submissive to the Lord? No, I don't see the Lord. How do I be submissive to the Lord? Very simple. You should find a pure devotee, you should be submissive to him. And that pure devotee should be pure. Please understand. If he is pure, you submit to him, you're submitting to the Lord. You're submitting to the acharyas. Because we need a person. A person should be there. If that process is not there, then we are baffled up. Because we don't know which way to do which one thing. Which thing we don't know which way to do. That's why the Guru Sadhu Shastra is very, very prominent. That's what Srila Prabhupada is telling. Dear devotees, always think about this. If this introduction was not there, what can we understand? For example, Srila Prabhupada did not write any purports. He just wrote word to word translation and that's it. He just left. He could have done that. Why he took all this pain, why he took all this trouble? Because if this thing is not there, then how after Srila Prabhupada left this planet, how they would understand? Now when Srila Prabhupada was there, just by seeing them, let's say he did not write any purports. When Srila Prabhupada was there, during his time, it might be, not might be, by seeing him, people will be attracted. He's a powerful personality. He's fire. Just by seeing him, they'll be attracted. Just like when they saw Lord Chaitanya, that Kurma, that South India Brahmana, that Kurma Brahman, it's in Kurma Gram. That Brahman used to say, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I will come with you. He was mad just by seeing Lord Chaitanya because he's an associate of the Lord. Now that associate of the Lord was just after seeing Lord Chaitanya, he was mad. He says, I will leave my family, this, that, everything. I'll just come with you and chant Hare Krishna. Whatever you say, I'll do some menial service. I want to be your servant. I don't want any of these things. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, you stay, sthane sthitigata, you stay with your family. Practice Krishna consciousness. So likewise, just by seeing Srila Prabhupada, a lot of people came like that. A lot of people came. And then later on, Prabhupada wrote this Bhagavad Gita. Not at that moment. For example, if that great personality, if he did not write this, what can we understand? Cannot understand. Definitely. We cannot understand. So, Srila Prabhupada and his followers should be ever grateful for them. Why? Because they show us who Krishna is. They tell us who that personality is. So when we understand that, what happens, dear devotees? We want to serve that. When we begin serving, what happens? The jiva will, his staying in the internal energy will be increased. Please understand. He will not be kept all of a sudden from external energy to internal energy. No, 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 no. Slowly, slowly. He will get tests in his life. And he should move forward. Now I can say that I'm doing a service. But we need to check our heart very sincerely. Yes, I'm doing service, but is my heart free from all the anarthas? Is my heart free from lust, greed, anger, envy, falsehood of pride? We should ask this question. If our heart is not free from lust, greed, anger, envy, falsehood of pride, that means we need to understand our service. There is some, and our sadhana, there is some problem. That means somewhere the submissiveness is not manifesting in our heart. We should see how that submissiveness has to be manifested. Because that means we did not understand Gita. That is what here Srila Prabhupada is telling. Why am I telling that is, Srila Prabhupada is very clearly telling the way how Arjuna is reading this. One should not, here it is being said, right? So according to the statements of Bhagavad Gita or the statements of Arjuna, the person who is trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should at least orientically accept Krishna as Supreme Personality Godhead, and with that submissive spirit we can understand Bhagavad Gita. Unless one reads Bhagavad Gita in a submissive spirit, it is very difficult to understand because it is a great mystery. Why? It's a Raja Vidya. Rajavidya Radhabhujam Pavitram Idamuttam Pratyakshagamam Susukam Dharmamayam Kartum Aviyam. It's the most confidential knowledge. Why? Because Krishna personally tells. Thus, this is hidden. This only comes through Guru Parampara. We discussed about that a couple of days back. That means whoever is in the chain of disciplic succession, whoever is actually following that instruction to the heart, he only can understand. Others can understand, even though the others are there in the association. That means Krishna will not open. Why Krishna has to open? Already the relationship is lost. The relationship has to revive. The revival process has to be done. The revival process comes through Shravana. Through that Shravana, what happens is when we develop that submissive spirit, the submissive mentality, what happens is in the core of the heart, you see change in the consciousness. Because what are we trying to do? We are trying to follow the instructions of the pure soul, the acharyas. All we need to do is we need to just follow their instructions. What Srila Prabhupada is telling, if a sadhaka has to understand Gita, he should have the spirit of what Arjuna carried. What is that spirit? Submissive spirit. Generally, sadhakas have challenging spirit. They do not have submissive spirit. They challenge. Oh, why only he? Why not somebody else? Oh, I can also understand this. Oh, I can also read. Why I should hear? This is impersonal way. Impersonal way, people can't understand. Even though they do tapasya, Are Dhritarashtra, Are Hiranyakashipu couldn't understand. No, he didn't want to understand. That is also another reason. Are he did thousands of years of tapasya, still he couldn't understand who Krishna is. Are Jai Vijay, they're right next to Krishna. They couldn't figure out who the Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumar are. It's difficult, but it's not easy. We see in the example of Brahmaji. Brahmaji was thinking that, oh, he is not a Krishna, uh, he's not an ordinary, you know, he's not an ordinary personality. He's created the creation. He's a secondary creator, actually. Oh, that person was also bewildered. That's what Srila Prabhupada is telling. So, it's a very interesting question. Prabhupada is asking. This means that the Lord cannot even be known by personalities greater than human beings. That means Brahmaji, we took that example, right? Brahma Vimohan Lila. Or Indraji also. He also couldn't understand. Oh, he's thinking that he's a small boy. And then he's thinking that he wants to fight against that person by showering rain. No, doesn't he know? He knows that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he doesn't want to do that. That is another thing. Jiva Goswami, actually Rupa Goswami, in his book, he explains that no, Indra knows, but he had to do that. That's what he says. So that means even greater than human beings. Oh, they're exalted personalities. They couldn't understand. Then, so how can a human being can understand Krishna without becoming his devotee? Because devotee means kya, dear devotees. We have to become his chela. Whatever he says, we should do. That is devotee. What is the sign of devotee? Devotee means not like wearing tilak, this, that, so many, putting shika, or wearing dhoti kurta, and telling that, or getting initiated, I'm devotee. It's not. That's external. Internally, we should become servitude for them eternally. We discussed about internal and external yesterday. Externally, we might be at different place. You might be in America, might be in India. No. Internally, what we are doing. Even staying in America, you can become great devotee. But for that, we need to develop qualities. The first important quality is you should become submission. Very important principle. We should be accountable. Very important. You should find that kind of personalities. I'm telling all these qualities, dear devotees. To actually manifest these qualities, you need a person in your life. That spiritual person should be there in your life. And that person should guide you. Through that guiding process, what happens? You will tell, oh, Prabhu, you are not submissive, you should be like this. Oh, you are doing this in this way. No, you should do in this way. What is this? This is a relationship. Through relationship only it can be spoken. For example, I'll tell something. For example, if I go to an unknown place and then they told me to speak on Gita, I don't know anyone there. Oh, what I will speak? Do I speak what we are discussing today? I'll tell this human form of life is very rare. If you don't use this, you'll become hawks and dogs. So better take up Krishna conscious and then leave that place. That's it. Then I'll say you chant Hare Krishna. If you're inspired, you count to 16 rounds. And what else? What else? Then find your local temple there. Then go there, associate with the devotees. That's what I can tell. Because there is no relationship, nah. Because if I tell, oh Prabhu, what are you doing? Sense gratification is the greatest thing. One should be free from sex life. Or yeah, first conversation only. How can I tell that? Cannot tell that. There is no relationship. But when the relationship is there, that is why if you see, Duryodhana didn't have a relationship with the Lord. That's why he couldn't go and ask the question. But Arjuna had a relationship with the Lord. He went. There's a difference. Karna also had a relationship with Pandavas, but on a negatively. That's why he went to the side of Duryodhana. Because that is where he can fight against Pandavas. Because he had that grajna in the heart. His heart was not good. He has enmity towards the other personalities. When these things are there, the heart will not reciprocate. The heart will not dance. When we see the Vaishnavas or when we see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the heart will not dance. Because the heart has problems, anarthas. That means the sadhaka, yesterday Bhaswati Mataji was mentioning this question. I was very happy to hear that question. This is a very honest question. Everyone has that. Everyone is going through that. Because we know how the jiva is always fluctuating between internal energy, sometimes internal, sometimes external, sometimes internal, sometimes external. Why is this not fixed up? Why is this Vyavasayatmika Buddhi not coming? This is the question, right? Actually, these questions, these questions will not manifest. These questions will not manifest when we do not have that kind of association. Because how the jiva will perceive the dear devotees? For example, I always ask this question. If we do not discuss the truth on that plane, then the thought or desire will not come that we need to aspire for that plane. Please understand. If you don't know how to actually approach Gita, how to actually approach Vaishnava, if we don't understand that, then dear devotees, what happens is the thought with which we need to approach them is out of our picture. That means that a right awareness is not manifested in our heart. Because there are unlimited awareness which we can cultivate in this world. There's awareness at the office, there's awareness at the home, there's awareness when we actually meet devotees. Okay, when we meet devotees, we say, oh Prabhu, Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. No, he will tell, oh, is everything good? Yes, yes, Prabhu, everything is good. Everything is good by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. You tell this. That means we are actually tuned up to be settled in that consciousness. But that consciousness which we are discussing will not become a life. But when the consciousness becomes a life, then what happens? Then we always remain in that internal energy. That is Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Jnana karma. That means this jnana karma, they are like two cheaters. They will not cheat us anymore. Because what are we trying to do? We are strictly trying to follow as per the orders of the acharyas. We are trying to understand the truth and then move forward. Just like Arjuna accepted. But on the other side, Duryodhana did not accept. Because that is, he has his, because why do, this question will always come. Why is this Duryodhana not accepting? Why is it Karna not accepting? Why is it Dhritarashtra is not accepting? These personalities do not accept because they have so many attachments. Likewise, the jiva will not really wholeheartedly take up the process of Krishna consciousness because of this, because of attachments. Through that attachment, what is happening? Slowly, 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 we sometimes stay in the internal energy, sometimes stay in the external energy. It's a dualism. But when one take the relationship core to the heart, sincerely, yes, let me take this. Let me take this process core to the heart. Then what happens during about it? Slowly, slowly, our heart will open up. Yes, I should do this. Just like Arjuna, he opened up his heart. That is why Srila Prabhupada is continuously using the example of Arjuna here. So please think about this question. It's a very interesting question. If the exalted personalities who are greater than the human beings, they cannot understand the Supreme Lord, how can the human being can understand the Supreme Personality of God without becoming his devotee? That means one should really become his devotee. Very interesting. This is great actually. Because when we become devotee, what happens to devotees? Krishna will give you everything. He gives everything when we are in that state, when we are in that selfless state, when we are submitting to them. See, through all the examples, Raghugan Maharaj was not submissive. Because Raghugan Maharaj, he's a king, he is empowered, he's a king. But Jada Bharat is actually holding him, the palanquin. And Raghugan Maharaj says, what are you doing? You are very, he's like mocking him. You know what? You are very slim. Uh, can't you lift this? Or you are like this, can't you do this? You know who I am? I'm a king. You should respect me. Then immediately he says, you are not the king, I'm not your servant. Neither you are this body, nor I am this body. Now you are a powerful spiritual, I'm a powerful spiritual. The moment he heard that, immediately stopped. The palanquin, he came out. Immediately he stopped the palanquin and then he came out and then he started telling, please accept my humble obeisances. You look like a sadhu. You're a self-realized soul. You please tell me what I should do. Perfect. This is the mood which Arjuna manifested in second chapter of Gita. And this is the mode which we need to cultivate to really understand the absolute truth. When we understand this absolute truth in that way, then we aspire to take up this Krishna consciousness core to the heart. Then we begin service. The service should come from the heart. For example, if somebody says you to do kirtan, if you are not connected, if you are not really focused, if you don't know why we are doing it, then can we actually do kirtan? We might be doing kirtan, but internally we might be thinking about something else. When we do that, will Krishna be happy? You should always ask this question, especially when you are doing something directly for the pleasure of the Lord. It can be chanting, it can be hearing, it can be doing kirtan, or it can be taking care of a devotee, or it can be, changing the dress of the deities, or it can be doing aarti. At every moment, you need to check that. Okay, what am I doing? Is this right? Is this right? Oh, Krishna says that, oh, you actually submit everything to me. What am I doing? Am I submitting? Am I submitting? Do I at least have a desire to submit? What am I doing? What am I doing? What will I do? For example, if I leave the body today, with what consciousness I will leave the body? On one side, I have so many material desires. Oh, my dear Lord, please remove these things. I don't want this. Duryodhana had this. Dhritarashtra had this. Hiranyakashipu had this. They were not happy. Then how will I be happy? How can I be happy with all of those things? Oh, my dear Lord, please help. I'm in a shackle. I've been wedded. I'm married. I have children. I have to take care of them also. Oh, my dear Lord, please give right intelligence so that I can rightly apply everything in right way. As per the guidance, please help. This is your Satmika Buddhi. This is the desire which we need to cultivate in the heart. I remember a few months back, I called my spiritual master. Directly I called him. I said, my heart is not accepting. He said, why? What happened? I said, I have some Lakshmi in my bank account. If the Lakshmi is not used in the service, then how can I be happy? I have Lakshmi in the bank. I want to send this immediately. Even though serving him, but there is more. Somehow, by the mercy of the Lord, there is an arrangement. Get a bonus or something, whatever this is that time. So immediately this thing has to be done. Because my heart is not accepting. How can I keep this? My heart is not accepting. Then you know what he said? He said, Nilgovinda, at this right moment, I'm thinking about his service and I'm seeing who will give Lakshmi for this. And then you called me. No, he did not message me, or neither I did not message him, but it was an arrangement. He said, this is an arrangement of the Lord. Oh, when the moment I heard that, I got prostrated ovations. This is right. He's a genuine soul. I need to serve him. I need to serve him. This Lakshmi has to be used in that service. That's how it was manifested. So, dear devotees, sadhaka has to be convinced with anything which he does. Otherwise, he cannot continue that process. I'll tell another example. There's a wonderful Vaishnava. He's very devoted. And this wonderful Vaishnava, they were actually. Okay, so let me tell this and then I'll tell that. So, dear devotees, unless and until the spirit of submission is manifested, which that was actually an obstruction in Arjuna's life also. If you see, Arjuna gives so many reasons, logic, so many reasons. He says you should do this, we should do in this way, in that way. He gives all the reasons, but still he has full grief. He's not happy. What is the happiness only comes when one takes the process core to the heart. His heart was not satisfied. Then what happened? Immediately he turned. That means the submission is very powerful. That is what Srila Prabhupada says. This is the first quality which we need to manifest in our heart. To understand more, to know more. When this quality is not manifested, then the Gita will be theoretical process. That means it will look like, oh, there's some theory. We shouldn't. What is the theory process? Oh, I shouldn't be naked. Huh? If I am naked, then I'll become a tree. Oh, this is knowledge. But what is bhakti? I will not be naked because this is not pleasing the Lord. That is bhakti. What is jnana? I will not be naked because if I am naked, then I'll become a tree. That is jnana. Please understand. What is karma? Oh, I will not be naked. If I am naked, then I might get some karmic reactions. See, the karmic reactions, getting another life as a tree, both are trying to address the soul only. But if you actually see, in both of those scenarios or cases, one is yielding another karmic reaction, the other thing is yielding another life. Through both of this, what is happening? Do you know what is? An extension is coming, but that is not giving bhakti. For example, if you are not naked, that means you will not become tree. Okay, that's okay. That means this is one way of renunciating. This is one way of following that instruction. It's a process of renunciation. But the renunciation is not connected to bhakti, which is one of the questions which Arjuna would ask. Is renunciation better or devotion better? Which is better? We discussed this yesterday, right? Now, Krishna says that both yield a result, but a renunciation without devotion they will not give satisfaction. That is what happened. Arjuna is renunciating everything, but still his heart was filled with grief. Arey, just see here, dear devotees. He gave everything. He says, I don't want kingdom, I don't want any of these things. But still his heart was in grief. That means even if we give everything, still our heart will not be satisfied. Please understand. Even if you renunciate everything, still it will not be satisfied because it is not connected to the Lord. Please understand. That means that the bhakti is not connected to bhakti. But when it is connected to bhakti means do practically, do things practically in the life. When those things are manifesting in the life, then what happens? Slowly, the consciousness is uplifted. Because we will feel the presence. You do a service, you'll feel the presence. You do an action, you'll feel the Yetamam prapadyante. That will be a realization, that will be a reflection in your heart. When you begin doing an action. Very important. If the current actions, if they are not giving happiness, that means there is some problem kuch to hai, which we need to address. Before we leave this body, we need to address that. We cannot just you cannot just say that, oh, I'm doing this service, I'll go back, come back to Godhead. No, going back, come back to Godhead, one should develop qualities. One should lose something, and the other thing one should gain something. Just like there are these two things, right? Probiotic, antibiotics. What is antibiotics? Antibiotics kill the bacteria and virus in the body because the bacteria and virus is causing the fever. That means it has to kill that. The moment we do that, the anti the antigens remove the remove the bacteria from the body. But on the other side, we need to also get probiotics. What is probiotics? Good bacteria. Through that good bacteria, what is happening? The strength, immunity increases. So here, dear devotees, mere renunciation is antibiotics. Doing with bhakti is probiotics. Please understand, it's very important. It's a very simple thing. It's not that easy. It's simple. Just mere renunciation is like antibiotics. It will give some solace. But again, after some time, you'll get similar disease because the immunity system is low. But when that is connected with the devotion, that means when both pro and anti, when both are there together, then what happens, dear devotees? That is a beautiful upliftment. And that means the body is nourished through that. So likewise, the consciousness is nourished when these both things are there, renunciation and also devotion. Mere renunciation will not help. And the devotion doesn't come just like that. We should come to the state of renunciation. That means our actions and activities should be done or dealt for the pleasure of the Lord. For example, you're eating Krishna Prasad. That means you're renunciating. What are you renunciating from? Renunciating from the worldly things. Worldly things means what? Eating at the restaurant, eating here at the shopping mall, this, that, so many other places. That means you're renunciating that. Mere renunciating this is also not helping. But you're also eating Krishna Prasad. And you know how to eat Krishna Prasad. Offer it with love and devotion to the Lord. That is bhakti. That means if you continuously doing that, do that only, then naturally you're renunciated from what? All the worldly things. That means, for example, the restaurants, they do all nonsense there. That means we are protected from that. That means you are free from so much karmic reaction. Because what are you doing? You are holding that person. Because Prabhupada told us. Spiritual master told. I should fully do this. Should not eat anything else. I'll be, I, you fast for 2 days. If there is nothing, you fast, but don't eat anything outside. You carry, if you're going somewhere, carry Prasad, Krishna Prasad. You're going for 3 day, 4 day office trip. Carry some stuff. Prepare, prepare boga. It's easy. It's easy to carry some, a rice cooker and then some small things. You can make rice dal. You can make khichdi, eat for a couple of days. You can offer it to the Lord. Lord will be very pleased because you are taking a difficulty. It's an austerity. This is real renunciation because this is bhakti because you want to please the Lord. A lot of people will say, "Oh, be practical." What practical, man? What practical? A lot of people say, "Oh, be practical. You can eat outside also." What practical? This Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Is this practical? Is this impractical? No, is this practical? Why unnecessarily I should increase that karmic reactions in my life? It's not good. It's not good. That's not helping anyone. Because dear devotees, when a sadhaka really develops devotion, he naturally gives it up. I never felt in my life that I'm missing something. No, never ever after coming to Krishna consciousness. Eating only Krishna Prasad, so much solace to the heart. Meditating on the Prasad. Meditate, oh my dear Lord, you have eaten this, you have honored this, and out of your love, you are giving it to me. I don't deserve to accept this. You are giving Prabhu Sakshat Darshan Prasad, you are giving this mercy. A lot of people will say, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? You see, wherever you want to see, you will see Krishna. At every moment, you can see Krishna. Ye tamam prapadyam te tam sadya bhajamyaham. Today is a Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day. I remember my spiritual master, I want to tell this. You know how devoted he is. I want to give that example. 3 years back, exactly 3 years back, on this particular day, he took a vow. Vow of what? 1 year he'll do only Ekadashi. That means he'll not take grains. He took only Ekadashi. No grains. Some Soma every day. Just imagine what is the whole year, no grains in his life. The whole year he didn't had grains. And then by seeing him, there are some of his close disciples, they also did that. And then I also messaged on that day, oh dear spiritual master, you are taking this vow? I will also take a vow. I said, from that day I will eat only once rice. The other time I'll eat fruits. I'll eat only once rice. He said, yes, please do it. So that is the day today. 2022 he did that for 1 year. You know why? You know what is the reason why he did that? Not for himself, not for his upliftment, not for his progress in devotional service, so that he can see the Lord face to face. He did not do it for himself. He did it because to uplift one devotee. Just to uplift one devotee, he did that. Wow. Because that devotee was not in good consciousness. Just to uplift that one person. That means, just see, in a community of 300 devotees, once one person's consciousness was not good, and then he's taking a vow for 1 year because he's thinking that, Arey, I am not correct. That is why he's doing like this. That is why he's behaving like this. I am not correct. My consciousness is not right. That is why he's actually behaving like that. So he took a vow, he took a prayer. He's in that prayerful mood, stating that, yes, I will fast for 1 year for the betterment of that person. And he did it. Some devotees did that. I started doing my little thing, just like a squirrel. Squirrel also does, right? Some service to Lord Ramachandra. Squirrel service. I did some squirrel service. And he was happy. Then after that, he said, dear spiritual master, can I continue this? This is very nice. I did only once. He said, yes, continue. So it's been 3 years, exactly, today. 3 years completed. So, dear devotees, these are all reciprocation. These are all loving relationships. Yesterday, my spiritual master was telling all of us, he was telling, if a sadhaka is developing, if a sadhaka wants to go deep in Krishna consciousness, if he really wants to practice Krishna consciousness to the core of the heart, sincerely, he need to develop a relationship. Period. That relationship should be deep, very deep. I told you an example, right? If somebody calls me and then they tell, give Krishna Katha, give Krishna Katha, these are all my friends. And what I will tell them? I'll tell some basic things. We don't go into the deep. We don't discuss like what we are discussing now. Because this is relationship. This is our bond. We want to make progress. We all are aspiring to become Krishna conscious. But if you continue that fire, you will become Krishna conscious. That has to manifest. Hare Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada. Hare, he did not eat mango in all his entire life. Why? Because his father told, you did not offer it to the Lord and then you ate. That's it. From that day he stopped. That means a soft-hearted person will actually follow the instructions very nicely. It's very gentle. He always says, oh, whenever some disciples or some guests would bring some mangoes, he says, I can't take this because I'm a cheater. I cheated my father. He was like 5 year old at that time. What is he telling? As a cheater, I cheated my father. This personality gives so much importance to relationship. Or his master, his master. Hare Krishna, great master. He gives so much importance to the relationship. How we do know? How we know that? At the time when he was leaving his body, he chanted the prayer of Manjari. And through that remembrance, he left the body. Because he was meditating on that. Beautiful personality. And he gave his life. He said that I will die. Dear spiritual master, if you do not accept me, I will die. This is how deep the relationship is. Because only a person who actually aspires for that consciousness, he goes deep. So always cultivate the consciousness. Oh, my dear spiritual master, how can I serve? This is a mode which we need to cultivate in our life. So that's how, dear devotees, the submissive spirit has to come in our heart. Krishna tells, right? Therefore, Arjuna tells Krishna that he accepts whatever he says to be completely perfect. Sarvam etam ritam manye. I accept everything you say to be true. Arjuna also says that that personality of the Lord is very difficult to understand and that he cannot be known even by the great demigods. It's a fact. Unless and until we submit ourselves, we cannot understand. Are Devi Devatas, they cannot understand who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is because they don't have that kind of association. We have that kind of association. What Srila Prabhupada association or spiritual master is the greatest than all the Devi Devatas. We don't know that. We have not realized it. But that is a fact. Because who is Srila Prabhupada? He is an empowered personality. He is bringing that instruction as it is a authorization for the Guru Parampara. These are the law books for us. These are authorization. It should be authorized. That means whatever Srila Prabhupada writes, every line is an authorization. Where here Arjuna is telling, right? Oh, I am not just accepting Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, I have authorization. Narada Muni, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, all these personalities. They are telling Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. Then I am accepting. Where accepting means we should become submissive. Merely we cannot tell I'm accepting. It's very important. We should realize that. Dear devotees, there's another trick here. Sometimes, not sometimes, every time. Unless and until sadhaka comes to the plane of submissive, he cannot realize Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the heart mind says that, oh, If Krishna, you give me that realization that you're Supreme Personality of God, then I'll submit. Krishna says that will not work. Sadhaka has to submit. You see, Arjuna did not realize Krishna as that universal form. He did not see that universal form unless Arjuna submitted to the Lord. Why will Krishna reveal himself? Because this is a hidden knowledge. To break that hidden knowledge, we need some qualities which are given by the acharyas. That we need to pursue. It's a very important subject, dear devotee, what we are discussing today. How and why submissiveness is important in one's life. Very important. I always ask this question, Are, I'm speaking about submissiveness. Am I submissive? It's the mood. Should I carry that? Because this is what is pleasing the Lord. Really, we should be very submissive. If a person says that I'm not a devotee, Krishna will actually see that person. If he really says that he's not a devotee, but he's doing all the things which is supposed to do, which is supposed to do as a devotee. Just like Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, empowered. Srila Prabhupada, exalted. He says that all of you came because of the mercy of my spiritual master. I have no qualification, but you came. Great. Krishna is tied to that. You see, Mother Yashoda tying Krishna, Acharyas also tie Krishna through their consciousness, through their attitude, through their life, through their love, through their relationship, through their submissiveness, through their because Krishna has given that spiritual master. Na, what are they doing? They're submitting to that person. Who is pleased? More than the spiritual master, Krishna is pleased. Then Krishna reciprocates. A couple of hours back, we were discussing all the reciprocations of the Lord which happened in our life. We were so happy. We were so happily discussing. I was so joyful just by sharing that. This is what we should do. 24 hours our engagement should be this. And in between, this class is coming. So not that I'm preparing for that class. I'm just opening in front of you only and then reading. Realization should come from the heart. It should pour. It should pour out. Because if you're 24 hours, if you have that consciousness, then it will come. Then we will not remain in the external energy. That means when some anartha is coming, immediately we'll know this is anartha. So want to pull me out. That's why Prabhupada says, just like Arjuna submitted to the Lord, we should also submit. Because through that submission only, you will understand this Gita very nicely within a year or two. Very nicely. If we have that right attitude, then you'll do great services to please Srila Prabhupada, to please our beloved spiritual masters. That thing should come. When you are completely absorbed in the service, nobody will touch you in this world. It should become more pure, aspire for that consciousness. If there's any sense gratificatory thoughts are coming, run from that. Don't give chance. The moment we give chance, we will not get up in the morning. Finish your rounds in the morning. Chant Hare Krishna nicely. Because Maya is very, very powerful, dear devotees. Very important. Hare Krishna. I think I didn't see the time. It's already up. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share? I think today's discussion is very important. I felt so happy after discussing. I don't know how you are feeling, but I'm very happy discussing this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila
Amma,
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Nice to
Beautiful
see you
message.
also.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Same here. Prabhuji, beautiful message, beautiful topic. The other day we talked about, even in Maharaj Vyas Puja, we were talking about Maharaj's message, and so one of the message being the same message that we talked in this class also, being sincere and submissive, sincere and what's the other one? See, not even coming into. Anyways, so unless we are submissive, how can the sincerity come in? So the first step is submissiveness. So that's my takeaway, Prabhuji. to be submissive. And with your permission, I would like to know even more about submissiveness. If you can continue submissiveness tomorrow also, that would be great. Prabhuji. Request. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Amma. Anyone else would like to add anything?
Seriousness is the other one, Prabhuji, which just came in. Seriousness and sincerity.
Nice. Seriousness and sincerity. Very nice. They will be given as a gift to us if we are sincere and serious. The acharyas are so merciful. They're ready to give everything. We need to have that desire. They only check for that desire. Just like Sanatan Goswami was checking the desire of that thief. The thief he passed. He says, you give up that. He was not even checking the desire. He said, you just throw and come, I'll give the essence of everything. And then he threw it. He was submissive. Submission is a lot of power. That way, submission comes through a relationship. If you don't feel the relationship, submission will not come. So just imagine, just understand. If Arjuna doesn't feel the relationship with the Lord, does he submit? He will not submit. But he was feeling that. Bhakto sime sakachita rahasam. That's why the confidential knowledge is actually shown through that bhakta. The property is the property of the bhakto sime sakachita. So only to the bhakta it will be revealed. Rahasyam etam uttam. Krishna very clearly telling. Here Prabhupada also clearly telling in the introduction. Are Devi Devatas cannot understand about the Lord. What about ordinary personalities? Just engaging in eating, sleeping, waiting, defending. How come they would understand Krishna? They are human beings. What is a human being? Just they evolved from an animal life. Still with animalistic consciousness only. Nothing more than that. With that person, how can he understand the source of everyone? Lakshmi Sahasra Sada Sambrama Sevyamanyam. How can he understand that person who's been continuously served by millions of Lakshmi Devis? And where the Lord is serving his cows, that cows is being like sent to the slaughterhouses in the material world. This is a completely opposite. See, here it is being sent to the slaughterhouse. There, he named his abode as Goloka. Goloka Dham. Dham. That Goloka Dham is what? Go means what? Cow. Prabhupada says, go loka. Just see how much Krishna has affection towards cows. Just see how much relationship is feeling towards the cows. So we should find ways and means so that to extend that relationship, to actually come to that plane. Because through that plane only, because it's a different realm. Currently, what we are discussing, it might be Greek and Latin, but it's a different realm, dear devotees. So my prayers that all of you should come to that plane. Because until that plane is established, we cannot continue this 24 hours. Mahamanusmara Yudhachare, at the time of death, Arjuna is remembering the Lord. That means how much relationship he should have with that person. For example, if all of a sudden something got hit, do we say Amma, Ayya, but we don't say Krishna or Govinda? Because that thing is not there in the heart. We say, God damn, what nonsense, who did this? But we don't say Krishna, Krishna. One time my spiritual master, I'll tell this and conclude. Very interesting thing. These are all exalted personalities. A spiritual master was going in the temple, South India temple. He's very tall, and then that Garbhagudi, that entrance of the entering into the Lord. This is it's not that tall. Immediately that stone, right? It's all stone. It's made with stone. So many days, right? In the ancient temple, it got hit to his forehead. It was a huge sound. I did not speak anything. And then the devotees, disciples were very close to him, started asking, are you okay? Is everything okay? You know what he said? You should be fortunate to leave the body in this kind of position. I'm not that. I'm not that fortunate. So they have a different Ralamdiri devotees. There are different personalities actually. It's a different cream. It is pure devotion. They, oh, there's so many beautiful qualities which they have. This is amazing actually. Just see the mood and consciousness which they have. Dear devotees, we should aspire for all this. Very important. Hare Krishna. I think let's stop here. Dear Vamshila Prabhu, please continue from 21,
Yes, Prabhu.
21 to 28.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class.
Always nice to see you, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you for
Hare Krishna.
joining every day,
Thank you,
participating, serving nicely. Nice.
Prabhuji. You're
Hare
my
Krishna.
inspiration. You're doing so much service. Just tagging on to your dhoti.